The just concluded 2023 general election has continued to thrill among political parties and Nigeria in general. Talking politics on today's segment with Prime Reporters TV, I am Messi Emelite, and I am not alone. Joining me is a prominent honorable member who has played a vital role to the success of the 9th Assembly, Honorable Abdullahi Saeed Abdulkadri. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Well, let me start by asking, election has come and gone. So how would you describe the just concluded election in Bauchi State?
Well, in the name of God, most gracious, most merciful, I happen to be from Bauchi State, and elections were held, the presidential and national assembly election, and the gubernatorial and state house of assembly election, and they were held as scheduled, that is 25th of February and 11th of March, rather 18th of March respectively. And it has happened, elections were conducted by the Independent National Electoral Commission, and returns were made into various positions, and for some other positions the results were collated at the national level. That is talking about the presidential election. And we thank God that the elections were conducted largely in accordance with the electoral laws of the country, save for some situations or some instances where we have certain violations of the electoral law, which I believe parties involved, personalities involved have taken cases that they are not satisfied with before the various election tribunals put in place to redress the irregularities or anomalies that some individuals are not happy about. So that is the state we are in as far as the 2023 elections is concerned.
Okay.
In Bauchi State.
Now, you couldn't regain the return ticket. What is your plan towards that? Are you satisfied with that, or do you intend going to court?
Well, for you to understand what happened, you see, by electoral regulations of INEC, which is guided by the 2022 Electoral Act, if you conduct an election, in my own case, where I was declared to be the runner-up, if you conduct an election and you have cases of cancellation of votes, and the registered votes or the PVC collected, as the case may be, of the areas affected surpasses the lead, the margin of lead between the first and the second position, that election is supposed to be declared inconclusive, and a rerun election is supposed to be made in the affected polling units. In my case, in Ningiol, the federal constituency, it is declared by INEC that the first position and the second position has a difference of 2,139 votes, while the areas that were cancelled have registered voters of about 7,000. So if you look at it, you don't need to do any major arithmetic to know that the election is supposed to be declared inconclusive, so that a rerun will be conducted in the areas affected by cancellation. But that was not done. We don't know the reason of the returning officer, because he didn't give any, and he went ahead and declared the candidate of the PDP as the winner of the election. We have written to the chairman of INEC before the 7 days, which the Electoral Act gives INEC to do administrative review if necessary. But we haven't heard from INEC, and we have seen and we have heard that certificate was issued to the candidate that was declared the winner. So for that, we have, like I told you, we have tribunals, and we have presented our case to the tribunal to look at it on its merit. and see whether there is supposed to be a rerun in the affected areas, or INEC is correct in declaring the candidate of PDP as the winner of the election.
Okay.
And besides this, there are so many other issues associated that are not normal associated with the election, and even from the collation center in my second local government, that is Warji, our returning officer had tried to bring the attention of the electoral officer and the returning officer in the local government, but he dismissed him, he didn't listen to him, and he sent in the result to Ningi for consolidation. So there are many issues, but since it is before the tribunal, we can't delve much into it because it will be sub judice. We'll allow the tribunal to look at it, and that's just what I can say for now regarding my election.
Okay, looking at all you have narrated and how the election happened to go so far, would you describe the 2023 general election as credible enough, even after the Independent National Electoral Commission did not keep to their promise of usage of beavers?
Well, your question needs contextualization. Is it, are you saying that the whole election beavers was not used, or the beavers was supposed to be used but certain persons hijacked beavers that were not used in certain places, in certain polling units? We can't make a general statement on this. That is the way I see it, because, for example, I voted and I know beavers was used to accredit me and to accredit so many people. So, but at the same time, in certain places, we have reports. If you go on to IREF, you will see a lot of things. You will see that some places beavers were not used, or it's not general. And it depends on, for example, if you are talking about the presidential election, and you bring a substantial number of polling units that beavers were not used, that could affect the credibility. But in a situation where beavers were used in majority of the polling units we have across the country, I think to that extent, you will say that the election is credible. I have not seen, to be honest, even though you see my situation, I lost the election as declared by INEC, but I can't say the election is not credible. But saying the election is credible does not mean that there are no flaws or there are not errors that can be corrected by INEC in subsequent elections, or redress can be sought from the election petition tribunals. So for me, generally, I think INEC has done relatively well, but still it needs to improve on certain things, because, for example, for me it's not only about the question of beavers, deployment of beavers. No, the thinking when we are doing the Electoral Act in 2022, the thinking was that once electronic option is inserted in the law, we thought, or Nigerians, the general expectation was that the way we are seeing election in advanced countries, whereby the casting of votes and the input and the output of the voting is real time. I think this is where the problem lies. People generally thought as you are casting your vote, you will be seeing the result real time. And I think what we have in the law, to a larger extent, the law gives INEC some kind of flexibility, because we have not gotten there yet. We are not matured in terms of technological aspect of voting. We are making progress. So INEC was given a kind of free hand to determine the extent of usage of technology in the electoral process. So for me, I think the election is credible, but you still have places where you have errors, you still have places where you have problems, and these problems can be sorted out either administratively by INEC or by the election petition tribunals we have all over the country.
Okay, so now from here, what is your next plan? looking at the circumstances surrounding the Bauchi State election, do you intend um, decamping from your party?
Well, I don't see the campaign from party is about the way you think the society should be facing, the direction you believe the society should be facing. Till now, I firmly believe that the way APC is running the country is far better than the way the PDP did. And to that extent, I still believe my political inclination is with the APC. And I hope it will continue to be so for the foreseeable future. I believe in our party. I know as a party that is big, that is diverse, you have so many contradictions, but we believe with the new leadership at hand, I'm talking about our President-elect Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He has been a party man, he has been a core Democrat. He was a senator of the Federal Republic way back in 1992 during the SDP NRC era. He was a governor of Lagos State. He led the opposition and took over government in this country through the vehicle, especially the APC vehicle, where himself and the current president, President Muhammadu Buhari, came together and forged an alliance. And with that, we witnessed the change of government for the first time in the history of this country. And I believe he has what it takes. He has the experience, he has the temerity, he has the wherewithal to do things in a different way that will be better for the country, that will be better for the party. So I strongly believe in APC, especially with Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the next president of this country.
Okay.
I see no reason for the campaign. And for your information, if I were to the camp, I was approached several times by the opposition, by the PDP, to the camp, even when we were in the opposition, but I felt it was absolutely unnecessary for me to do so. APC had given me platform and to contest for state assembly. I contested and I won 2015 to 2019. Again, APC gave me platform to contest for House of Reps between 2019 to 2023, which I'm still serving, which I will be rounding up in some few months. So I see no reason just because I lost an election, which is still before even the tribunal. We don't even know, or we are hopeful the tribunal will come with a decision that will correct some mistakes in the election. There is no reason, absolutely. For now, there is no any reason, and I believe for the foreseeable future, there should be no reason for me to leave APC.
All right, sir. So before we round up, let me just ask this: as an APC loyalist, your party has been able to rule the 8 years administration. So and now, luckily, your candidate made it to the presidential race. So looking at the former administration and the new one to come, what do you think APC should do better for Nigerians?
Well, thank you very much. Like I just explained part of that. We need to go back to the drawing board as a party, and as someone that wants to see the stock of our party to continue to rise. First of all, we need to go back to the drawing board. We need to study the administration of our party in the past 8 years and identify where we have achieved successes and where we have recorded setbacks. And from there on, we reset the party and we reset the administration so that we will come and build on the successes that we have achieved over the years and avoid the mistakes and setbacks that we have witnessed. And going by the manifesto of the President-elect Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu, I believe this country is going to witness a rapid development, rapid transformation. He has talked about the issue of security. He has talked about the issue of economy. He's an economic master. He has his background in economics, economic courses. He's an accountant by profession. The good works he did in while he was working with Mobile as an auditor. He is well grounded in economics, and we have seen the path that he has laid for Lagos, which is a progressive path, and luckily it has not derailed. And today Lagos is the star state among its peers, among other states we have in Nigeria. I believe Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu is very good in man management. He assembles team, a very good team like he did in Lagos. I believe he will extend it to the federation. He will put in place people, a good team that will help him to deliver on the promises and the manifesto that he has set to achieve, which Nigerians have freely given him mandate to come and implement the manifesto. So one thing that I am eagerly awaiting is his policy on credit. You see, if you go to most of the advanced countries, credit system is one of the fundamental pillars of their economy, and that makes life a bit easier. Some will argue that you live on a life of credit, yes, but the classical economy is conceived in that way. And since we are towing the path of the classical economies, or if you may like, say capitalist economies, that is the part, because the assumption is that people don't have money. You have to borrow money in order to create wealth with it. And for example, even in terms of consumption, you don't need to have money to purchase everything that you need. The major thing you need to have is a source of that income, so that they have what they call credit cards. If you want to buy this camera, for example, if it costs 1,000 naira, you don't need to have all the 1,000 naira. There is a system that will allow you, maybe with an upfront of 100 or 200 naira, to take it and be paying the remaining instrumentally. That way, you'll not be choked up to bring out money for everything that you need to utilize. You just put down what you can afford and you spread the payment of the rest across a period of time. And that we have seen how is making tremendous impact in terms of the living condition of the people in the Western countries. So I believe, I don't expect it to be perfect from the start, or at least it will be a fundamental departure from the economy of Nigeria. It will give us an option, to be able to enjoy things in life without necessarily having the money at once. So I am eagerly looking forward to that. And he also talked about agriculture. He's going to give emphasis on agriculture. Agriculture is not only about tilling of the soil. It has various forms. You have poultry, you have plantations, you have processing, you have value addition industries, agricultural value addition industries, and so on and so forth. So it is a whole lot of, you have ranching. There are so many things in agriculture. It's still a very big potential that if we really give serious attention to it, I believe you me, the potentials to unlock in agriculture is a lot, and it is one of the surest way to take our youths off the streets and make them engage and have meaningful jobs to cater for themselves and their families. So I'm looking to all this and so many other good economic policies contained in the manifesto of Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu. I believe it will be for the betterment of this country.
All right, thank you so much. We wish you and your party all the best. So at this point, we'll come to the end of the